Okay? Now, this is going to be given to you on the reference sheet. You will be given V equals capital BH. You will be given B equals 1/3 capital BH. And you'll be given V equals 4/3 pi r cubed. You will be given those. Now, are they going to tell you which is which? I don't know. You want me to check? These are your prisms, cylinders, in other words, two bases. These are the figures, these are your pyramids, cones, in other words, the pointy figures, and this is the sphere. Yes, ma'am. Yes, and you'll be given this on the EOC. These are 3 of the very few formulas you will be given on the EOC. Now, do you have to know what capital B represents? Capital B is in okay, base what? And this is what you have to know. You have to know capital B is base area. Now, does capital B change? Yes, it could be a triangle, so capital B is 1/2 base times height. Do you have to know this? This is the blue is your study. It could be a circle, which is pi r squared. What else could it be? It could be a rectangle. That's a square. Okay, square or rectangle is going to be, and I'll put square / rectangle. That's going to be little b, little h. It could be a trapezoid, and that's going to be 1/2 little h b1 plus b2. Okay, base area, triangle, circle. Yeah, they're not going to really do that to you. And those are pretty much the figures you're going to need. All right, what else are you going to need to know? You're going to need to know the Pythagorean theorem, which is leg squared plus is equal to squared is equal to hypotenuse squared. What else do you need to know? Yep. Boy, that's a bad triangle. All right, you're going to have to know your 30, 60, 90 triangle, guaranteed. Opposite 30 is x. Opposite 60 is, and opposite 90 is, what else do you need to know? 45, 45, 90 triangle. Did I put those on your review? Yes, I did. 45, 45, 90, yes it is. X, x, x square root of 2. No, I didn't do that. I could have done trig.
No, the EOC.
Oh, yeah. Now, when you do trig, do not touch that handheld calculator. Make sure you use that calculator on the EOC. All right. So what else are you going to have? You have to know your vocabulary. All right? You have to know vocabulary. A base from a face, from an edge, etc. This should be the easy part. Okay. Then, if you're given scale factor of A over B, then what is the ratio of areas? If the scale factor is A over B, what's the ratio of areas?
Square.
Okay. And what's the ratio of volume? A cubed over B cubed. How do you go from here back to scale factor? Cube rooted. How do you go from here back to scale factor? Square rooted. It depends on your calculator. The one on the EOC, I will have to, maybe they have a cube root key. I'd have to look at it again. I'm going to have to go online and look. Yeah, later. All right, so I think that is a pretty good study guide. What is the relationship between any base and height? Perpendicular. Okay. What does capital H represent? 3D height. What does little h represent? A 2D height. Now, you need to know this, but I want to make you aware. Where did it go? I want to make you aware that on the EOC and the reference sheet that you all have tomorrow, they have not used a capital H. They have used a little h. And what are you going to know? That is what you're going to see on your reference sheet. When it's a volume formula, what do those h's represent? Capital H, height of the 3D figure. You with me? All right, so it may be that you don't want to rely on the reference sheet. You may not want to rely on the EOC drop-down menu. You may want to put this to memory because, oh wow, there's paper towels over there. You better hurry. Over on the TV cart. All right, any questions? All right, so now what are we going to do? What is the first question? First hand goes up. Okay, Devin? Which one? 6. This is why I don't allow you. You're so right. Boy, when in the new building, that won't even walk in the classroom.
I mean, this is your last year here, though, so why would you prepare?
Because it's going to get sticky and nasty and yucky and all that good stuff. All right, we're doing number 6. All right? Because I asked who had a question and you did not raise your hand. And the person that did raise their hand asked for this one. That is why. All right, so this is the figure. And there was a little dotted line here. And there was a little dotted line from here to here. So that is 90. That is 90. They told you that this is 3. Oh, you know what else should be there? I'm missing 2 lines. Doesn't look very good, does it? There should be a line from here to here and a line from there to there. Look better? Okay. So now that's, this is 4. This is 8. And because of everything, I did this. What does that mean? That this back here is what? Okay. So what volume formula, and this is where I went wrong because I did not write this first. What volume formula are we using? What volume formula?
1/3 base height.
1/3 capital B, capital H. Because of the point. If I had written that, I would not have made the stupid mistake that I did make. What's the shape of the base? Trapezoid. Therefore, what is the formula for capital B? Half. Little height. Base 1 plus base 2. What is the little height? Where's the perpendicular on the trapezoid?
We can't even tell. We don't know.
It's right there.
No, on our sheet. What's that? That's supposed to be right in that little box thing?
Okay, if you looked on your computer, you would have seen the lines. Yeah.
Why would I become like...
But if you looked on it, because when I printed mine printed that way, but if you looked at the computer, you would have had these dotted lines in here. Okay? So you had to look at that.
Why would I look at the computer?
Because it didn't print well. But anyway, looking at my figure, Mr. Eisman, what is my 2D height? 3. 3?
You know what it says?
I need the height. I'm all about the trapezoid.
Oh, it's 4.
It is 4. What is 3? The capital H. Okay, what's one base? And what's the other base? Coffee smells good. So we're going to have what's half of 4? 2. 8 plus 12? 20. 2 times 20? 40. Okay, that is capital B. Now, where does that go? In for capital B. Now, what is the 3D height? 3. Now, what are those 3's going to do? Right. Or you get 120 divided by 3, and you're going to end up with 40. So my answer was wrong because I didn't write the volume formula, and I missed the 1/3. Next question. Trevor. Number 1. All right, so number 1 is a poorly written problem because you could do it one of 2 ways and get 2 different answers. You could have done it one of 2 ways and gotten 2 different answers. What I should have done is I should not have told you those are bases where isosceles trapezoids. That's what I should have not told you. Pardon? Huh? Hmm? All right. Okay, so that diagram is just a little bit off. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work with the 45, 45, 90 triangle. Be aware that you could have had a different answer. Or I could have deleted the 8. But I want to, if anybody worked with this 10 and this 14 up here and got that to be 2, I say kudos to you all. Nice job. All right, this is 45. This is 45, meaning this is what? This is 90 here. So what is this in terms of x? X, what is this? X, what is this? X square root of 2. All right, there are more numbers on this figure. Let me find them. We were also told that this is 4 and this is 8. If this is 8, what is this? Right, it is also 8, and there's your equation. Why didn't I write 8 up here? Why didn't I put the 8 up here and I put it down here? It was too many numbers. It would have been too confusing to see. So we've got x square root of 2 is equal to 8. So what do I do? Divide by square root of 2. So x is, what do we do with that square root of 2? By square root of 2, square root of 2. So we're going to get 8 square root of 2 over what? Square root of 4, which is 2. And how does that simplify? Right, because 2 divides 8. So this is 4 square root of 2, and this is 4 square root of 2. What's the volume formula for this figure, by the way? Well, I'm looking at for the volume. Capital B, capital H with no 1/3. So now the question is, what is the base formula? 1/2. A little h, base 1 plus base 2. All right, do you know your base 1, base 2s? What is 1 base? 14. What's the little base? 10. Okay, you had to find it down here. This is 10. The 10 comes up here. All right, now what's the 2-dimensional height? It's this one right here, which is indeed 4 square root of 2. So what does 2 do to that 4? So I've got 2 square root of 2 times 14 plus 10 is 24. What's 24 times 2? And see, I got so excited I quit. That's just capital B, isn't it? So now I've got to come over here and I've got to put 4d8 square root of 2. What's the 3D height? What's the 3-dimensional height? That would be the distance between those 2 trapezoids, 4. So now when you go to multiply, you're going to get 192 square root of 2, and this was meters cubed. So that was, I missed that one because I forgot to do the volume. Okay, what's next? Yes, Caitlin? Because it's a circle, yes. All right, so now we're going to 7. FSA, yes, you better go. FSA, there will be 2 sets of notes online.
Can I see FSA?
No. Okay, who has FSA tomorrow? Hold on. Let me pause this for a minute. We're on problem 7. All right, it says the volume of, no, it says a sphere has diameter that is 14. Will we ever use a diameter? Okay, so what are we going to do first? Right, our radius is what? Okay, it says find its volume. What's the volume formula for a sphere? R what? Now, they will give you that. You will have that tomorrow or next Friday. So volume is equal to 4/3 pi. What's my radius? 7 cubed. And if you do 7 cubed, I think that's 343, but I'm just really guessing. So this is going to be 4/3 pi times 343. And when you multiply that out, you're going to get 1372 pi over 3. And that's going to be inches cubed.
What's that?
Again, if you looked online and you looked at
The purpose of printing this out.
well, the purpose is that, yeah, but when it doesn't look right, then you got to fill it in.
Well, I didn't
All right.
know that.
What's the next question? Yes.
If it comes out like that, divide it.
I will give you credit either way. And if it's the EOC, then you're going to look at the multiple choices or the whatever they have, select all of that, apply choices. If they say round to the hundredths, then you know that you won't even keep pi in there. All right, so 7. We did 7. Next question? 27. I think 27 is kind of like what we've been doing in the last few days. All right. So I have the ratio of the lateral. Oh, I just started a new smartboard. All right, are we recording still? Yes. All right. So we are going to be doing number 27, gentlemen. 27. 20 said the ratio of the lateral area. Is lateral important? No. This is ratio of areas. Ratio of lateral area. What is the scale factor? What do we have to do? Square root. What's the square root of 81? Square root of 16? Okay, so now what do they say? If the volume, okay, now we're going to volume. So what's the volume ratio? Cubit. 9 cubed over 4 cubed. Now, did I do that one right? I said on 27 that 9 cubed was 729 and 4 cubed was 64. Because I'm assuming that's right. So then it says, if the volume of the larger is 128 pi, where does 128 pi go? On top. So you got 128 pi, and we're looking for, we'll use V for the volume of the small. Cross multiply, you have 729V is equal to 64 times 128 pi. Then you're going to divide by 729. You're going to divide by 729. And you're going to get V to be something. Yeah, and that way I can check to see if I'm right or wrong. And it looks like I might have multiplied through by pi too. We'll see. Is that, did you multiply by pi? So it's found, what is it? 7.72. Is that what you got, Devin? I got 11. So it looks like everybody's gotten a different answer. Okay. So we've got 64 times 128 times 3.14, and then we'll take that and divide by 729. And, oh, did anybody get 35?
Yeah, I just got that.
Okay. So if we multiply by 5, it's going to be 35.285. So I'm thinking that my answer of 11.237 is not multiplied by pi. That I forgot a pi. There we go. Okay.
High button or yeah, that's what you did. You did.
I didn't multiply by pi. So I don't know. I would have to look at that on the FSA.
Like it does.
It does. It does. So that is the wrong answer. This is with pi multiplied, or you could have 11.237 pi. Well, I don't know. So I will go on the testing website and look to see what's on the calculator. All right, Samantha? 28. All right, this is where you're going to have one problem where it is a combo of some sort. All right, so Samantha, we want to get the volume of the, what's going on in this picture? What is there supposed to be happening here? Yes, there's supposed to be a hole in this cylinder. So the goal for you is to find the volume. Suppose you wanted to, you were going to, let's say, do you remember what those combos were, the food combos? Those were pretzels stuffed with anything. Combos. It's hard to find them today. Do you remember?
Yeah, they're so good. They had like the pizza ones.
But they're hard to find today.
Yeah, they're both.
All right. So anyway, so if this is a combo, we want to figure out the volume of the pretzel part only. Okay? So we're going to take volume of large minus the volume of the what? Small. Now I'm going to draw in the radius of the large. There's the radius of the large, and this is the radius of the what? Small. All right, so they told us that the distance from here all the way over to there was 6. What is this distance? 3. They told you that the distance from here all the way over to here was 20. So what is this? 10. All right, this is a cylinder. What volume formula should I be using? Capital B, capital H. And what is the shape of the base? Circle. And so what is the formula for a circle? Pi r squared. All right, we're doing large first. So what's the radius of the large? 10 squared, which is, all right, now, if I did this well, I should have put 100 pi in here. Now, what's the height of my cylinder? Oh, I didn't show you. What is the height of my cylinder? 4. So what's the volume of the large? 400 pi. So we've got 400 pi. And from that, we're going to subtract something. So let's now do the small. I can't find my cursor here. The small cylinder. All right. So if we're going to do the small cylinder, what is its base area? What's its radius? 3. So what is this going to be? 9 pi. So its volume, what's the volume formula? Capital B, capital H. So we have 9 pi times, what's the height? Or 36 pi. So we've got 400 pi minus 36 pi is 364 pi. Did I get that right? Oh my goodness. No, no, I can't even begin to tell you how many answer keys I did in this one. I added it. Okay, so how many have I missed? I think I failed this test. Number 28. So the answer to 28 is, I can't tell, I can't see it. 364. Yep.
You don't take the answer as that, or if we do it all the way through.
Yes, if you multiply. Okay, next question. Yes, sir. Number 2. What's your volume formula for number 2? Why? Because it's a prism. This is number 2. How about if I draw my figure first? See that point there? Come on, Trevor.
Huh?
Why don't you try drawing some of these figures?
Okay. Let me see that. Okay, it's also a lot better. She doesn't have.
Okay, this is 8. This is 5. This is 30. All right, so what's capital B formula? What's the base? Okay, where did you get 1/2 little b little h? It's a triangle. What's the relationship between any base and height? Perpendicular. All right, so what do we have on this base? Opposite 30, opposite 60, opposite 90. All right, now, what side have we been given? The 5. Do you see that side? That side's the same as that side, which means x is 5. So if x is 5, what is this? 5 square root of 3. Where's the perpendicular in my figure? Right there. So where's my base and my height? Right there. So when we go up here, we're going to say 1/2 base 5 height 5 square root of 3, or 25 over 2 square root of 3. Any questions there? So now we're going to take our 25 over 2 square root of 3. Now what's the 3D height? 8. So this is going to be 200 square root of 3 over 2, or what? 100 square root of 3. Number 2. Those square roots are just going to be there. Just ignore, I mean, they're there. Just because what are 8/4? What's 8/4? It's $2. 200. That's how 8 times 2, 25 is 200. Yeah. Get it? 8. A sphere. Okay, you will be working backwards. Number 8. You will be working backwards. A sphere. Volume formula for a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. All right. Number 8 says a sphere has a volume of 256 over 3 pi. Where should that go? On the V side, 256 over 3 pi. And that's going to be 4/3 pi r cubed. How do we start to solve this? Multiply by 3. Multiply by 3. So now we have 256 pi equals 4 pi r cubed. Now what do? Divide by 4 and by pi. What happens to the pi's on both sides? All right, 256, thank you. 64 equals r cubed. How do we undo a cube? Cube root. And cube roots either give you a positive or a negative. You do not get both. So the radius is 4. 4. 4 said, 4 is a cone. What are we going to have to do for 4? Yes. So we've got this cone. Well, it's going to be a dotted one on the sides. I'll just have to cope with it. All right, so we've got those. Then we've got this thing right there. We've got this thing right there. All right, so they have told you that this is 30, and they told you that this is 18. What's opposite 30? X. What's opposite 60? What's opposite 90? Oh, there's the equation. What does x equal? 9. So what's your radius? Your radius is 9. And what is this then? X square root of 3 if x is 9. 9 square root of 3. So what is capital H? 9 square root of 3. All right, we're doing a cone. So that's going to be 1/3 capital B capital H. What is the capital B this time? What's its shape? Circle. What's the area formula for a circle? Good. All right. And my R is not 100? Really? It is 9. So what's base area? 81 pi. So we're going to say this is 1/3 times 81 pi. And how tall is it? 30. No, 30 is the angle. 9 square root of 3. There's that square root again, MJ. So when you multiply 81 times 9, and then you turn around and divide by 3, you should get 243 pi square root of 3 meters cubed. What do you mean complicated? Well, then multiply by pi and you can have a decimal. I think decimals are ugly. Well, I don't know where life's going to take you, and neither do you. And whenever you say, I will never, you will be eating your words in life. Next. 10. Well, you would multiply by pi. All right. We have a piñata, and we have to fill it with candy, and we have to know how many bags of candy to put in it. So Joe is filling a spherical. What does that mean? It's 4/3 pi r cubed. The piñata has a diameter of 16 inches, which means the radius is what? What's the radius? 8. And each candy is going to be 1.5 cubic inches. That's the candy. That's how much space it takes. So we'll put that on hold. Let's see. So, am I ready to find my volume? Do I have everything I need? So when we go to, now this is a problem where we're not going to keep it in pi because we're going to need to know. If I did this well, I got 1429.04 inches cubed. Is that what you all got? I would love someone to check my work, because I have not done a very good job on this worksheet. Oh, is it 0.05? Okay. So 0.0405. Now, question. If each piece of candy takes up 1.5 of these cubic inches, how do I figure out how many? So I'm going to take 1429.04 or 05 and divide by, this would definitely be EOC level. So divide, what do you get? What do you get? Okay, this is how many pieces of candy you need, all right? Now, Are you going to go to the store and say, I want to buy 952.69 pieces of candy?
No.
All right. The bags of candy have 30 candies in each bag. 30 candies per bag. All right? So if I have this many candies, how do I figure out how many bags I have? Take 952.69 divided by 30. What do you get?
It's 31.
Seriously? 31 point what?
75.
That's not what I got. Yeah.
She's slacking so much.
What did the problem say? Because I have a sloppy copy. Okay. How many pieces of candies will it take to fill the piñata? And a bag of candy holds 30 pieces. So the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to divide by 1.04 first. So what we did here, we're going to have to do first. Bless you. Oh, wow, I got a different answer. 4 divided by 3 times pi times 8. All right. Oh, divided by 3. All right. Yeah. Divided by 1.5 divided by 30. All right. So I did get, so my 1429.05 was already divided by 1.5. And then when I divided by 30, so my answer is correct. It's going to be about 48 bags. So what we've got is that this number was already divided by 1.5. What we got before, if we did 4 divided by 3 times pi times 8 raised to the third, this is actually 2143.57 divided by 1.5 gives us this. Then we divide that by, we take our 1429.04, divide by 30, and we get 47.63 bags. So that means you would buy 48 bags. That's a lot of candy. No. You might. What do? Just go buy some bags and hope it's enough and then go buy more?
That's probably what you do is you just put the bags on top of each other and see if it looks like much pinata. Give it to the kids. Thank you.
Who built the pinata all the way?